we'll see where it takes us. Let me just pull up the chat window over here. How's everybody doing? Getting excited. I love doing this stuff. Give me just a second to pull this up, you guys. And there we go. Got to pull up the stream. Got a few minutes here before everybody comes in here. There's my channel. And there we go. Perfect. Nice. All right, I got you guys on the screen. I thought we'd start out today. I've got the laser machine. So I've got a couple, actually got several different practice knives. I mostly just got these because they're large and flat. And give people a chance to get in here. I know a lot of people have to work on a work day, so just want to give people that can make it a chance to get in. See how many we got coming in already. Nice. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning here still. There we go. I got scratched by a tropical bush, and it's fighting me. It's some sort of prehistoric tropical bush. So maybe I'll swing this around so we can look at this together. And get the reflection off. There we go. So what we're doing here is over here. This is the it's got the goofiest name of any machine I've ever heard of. LP, laser pecker, but it's like a woodpecker, not the other kind. LP5. And I was trying to find they call it a material test array, and it'll do a different varying shades of color in this little grid. And so we're going to go for you can find all these cool, really neat patterns and stuff. I like the Celtic stuff. I've got a little bit of an Irish background, so some of the Celtic stuff I do enjoy. Let's do that one. Alright, so once that's imported, I think I imported it 3 times, so let's get rid of it 3 times. Still learning how to use the software. There we go. Hopefully that's showing up on the screen. So, and this is why I haven't done a full video on this yet, is I don't make videos until I have mastered or have developed proficiency in how to use an item. That's probably one of my pet peeves at the moment, is seeing guys get a brand new product and then show you how to use it when they don't even know where the on button is. Doesn't instill a high level of confidence. So there's the pattern. And I've got glasses right here. Let's just run one real quick. So here's my glasses. Got to have those on. And then you can hit the preview. Connect the device. Okay. So we got to reconnect our device. And it's in Wi-Fi. And there's the device. It connects really fast. Nice video sound. Yay, sorry for the delay. Glad you were able to get the diamond wheels. Yep, One Moon, I started as a maker and I enjoy the actual restoration and creation part, but I prefer to do it with things that have already been done. So what we got is, I'm just playing around with this thing real quick while we're letting a few people come in. So I've got a pattern on the screen. I've got my test knife over there. And then if we come to the laser engraving and hit the preview, then you can see right there. And then we're going to make it just a little bit smaller. What I'm doing is I'm shrinking the image there. Trying to get both on the screen at the same time. There we go. So I'm shrinking the image just a little bit there. Bop, bop, bop. There we go. So now I can see exactly, which is really cool. On the camera, it's flickering, but in real life, it's a solid blue square. And then the red dots, I'll take it out of focus. So now there's 2 red dots. Let me see if I can zoom you in. There you go. Sorry, it's fighting me here a little bit. There you guys can see the 2 red dots. And then you bring it. And then you get it to where it looks good. And then I like to go like past it. And then it looks like it's locked right on. Okay, so we got our double red dot. And then we got to pick our laser. Sorry, this is taking a little long. Then we go to our next step. And then we got to pick our processing type. And I think I wrote down some numbers. Oh, here they are down here. So I've got some I did some pre-testing on some of this stuff. And so what you have is you have it's kind of cheat sheety stuff. But depending on if you're doing a picture, line engraving, and so forth, but I have my power, my depth, and so forth. So we're going to go with the 450. Actually, we want the 1064. And the power, we want that to be at 45. The depth at 37. And the G at 50. Okay, ready? Here we go. Put my glasses on. Here we go, rock and roll. And confirm. This is why you need to have your glasses on. Done. That's kind of anticlimactic, maybe. There we go. But that's, see how it's got a little brown color to it? You can adjust the power and the depth and get it to go from tan to brown to black. Not hot. It just did that surface. It just kind of flashed the surface. But this is what I've been practicing with. You can see, even knowing what you're doing a little bit, it still takes a few minutes to, you know, push the button and to get it connected. But we're going to start offering this service to our customers. This laser was not cheap. The guys that sent it to me, Laser Pecker, are... that's why I'm practicing a little bit, and that's why we just did that practice there on camera, is because I would like to be able to give these guys a good video demonstrating. The other thing it can do is there's certain settings that then it can actually do rust removal, which I'm kind of tickled about, to see if it can do rust removal. I don't think it does. You know, it's still going to leave the pits and the valleys. It's not going to miraculously make it look like brand new, but it might be able to get rust removal in different areas that are hard to get inside of. Interesting. There we go. Let me get me live. There we go. Slouched over. Okay. Check the comments. Yeah, it is pretty cool. So that's what we're working with. We got the new laser machine. I'm going to do a full demo on it, but that was me just practicing it a little bit on it. How is everybody doing? Should we do some sharpening today? Does that sound like fun? Let me get you guys all cranked up over here. So Tuesdays are a good day for to do shop stuff, because I got all the new stuff that's come in since I was here. And so we got some new things to play with. I guess probably the biggest news is you saw the video went viral on YouTube. Did you guys see that? Crazy stuff. Oop. So after 10 years and 1,000 videos, one of them actually hit. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but currently the video is at 1.2 million views. It's just another video. You guys, anybody that's been following along, so here we got one. So this knife, we've been sharpening this for years, and I think what we're finally getting down into, I mean, this thing was quite a bit bigger over the last 10 years. I think we're getting into soft steel in the middle, because the edge is not holding the same. We've been using the same edge on this piece for a long time. And now it suddenly seems like that edge isn't going to be good enough to hold. No problem. We'll just increase the angle a little bit, and then we'll see if that changes how long the edge lasts. We may have found its new failure point, is what I'm kind of always talking about. So I got an 80 grit Cubitron, safety glasses, get some dust extraction going. This might trip my little breaker, but here we go. So it's just the edge that's chipped a little bit. So instead of going here, I'm going to come up about 2 or 3 degrees. Put a new bevel on there. You don't need to grind more than that. That was just more for looks. That satin polish part. Remove the burr. Strap the edge. Don't like that. Don't like that feel. Just go slow it down just a little bit. I'm gonna try something here, you guys. I'm gonna extend the tripod just a little bit. Hang on. Sorry, it's so wiggly. There we go. Let's get you up in the air a little bit. There you go. Human height. Then I can scoot you in. Then you can follow along with me. Try and let you see what I'm doing here while I'm doing it. Yeah, it's just after 10 o'clock, so there's a good chance we will get some walk-in customers while we're working today. So I just went back and put a new burr on there. I wasn't happy with that. I'm just going to gently yeah, there's something different going with the steel. The burr isn't even flaking off like it normally would. So I'm being a little more gentle with it. And by gentle, I mean I drop my angle just a little bit more. And I can start with medium pressure. And if I need to or want to, I can apply more pressure. Now we should be. Ooh, what's going on here? Edge feels fine. Paper? Is it you? Is it my paper? Blame it on the paper. Huh. Yeah, this is funky. I mean, he's got about 10 of these, and they're all identical, and I've been doing them for 10 years. So you imagine how many times I've sharpened these. In fact, I took and did a full satin polish and a rethinning on these recently. Don't like it. I'm going to play with it here for a minute. So this is kind of, you know, what you do when you don't get the results you're looking for. You figure it out. Prairie Edge, good to see you. Yeah, I'm excited to see if the little thing can do some rust removal as well. I'm just going to kick this up, bring up a new burr, take an extra minute with it. I got you zoomed in a little bit here. Not even bringing up a burr, like like I would like to see. Convex that all together a little bit. There we go. So I'm starting low. Yeah, it's not even pulling a burr up like a regular heat-treated steel would. It's something you don't see very often, actually. Kind of take it for granted that you got heat-treated steel. Okay. I'm going to call an audible. I'm actually going to use the leather. Because I can control Okay, liking that better. Get more comments about the phone book than anything. All right, let's see. Huh. Well, that's awkward. And it's there, it's shaven sharp. It's also very thick. It's chunky. All right, so we're going to see if that's going to hold up for him. The nice thing is he's that customer, like I said, I've had him for many years. So we've developed good communication between us. So he can let me know feedback. Yeah, Todd, that's exactly kind of where we're at. These might be an end of life situation. That one in particular. The other ones aren't that far down in, but it's not behaving like normal steel. So let me just move a few things around here. Perfect. We've got just a few to do for customers, so I should probably get those done so that they can come. And this is for commercial locations, so they're going to want to come and get their items soon. There we go. Let's keep everything all kind of tucked in. Nice. You know me, I'm always going on about trying to keep a clean workbench, and even trying to keep it clean, it's hard. It's hard at home, it's hard when you got kids, it's hard when you're messy yourself. Hey, by the way, I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. I try to make this a valuable, you know, situation. Hopefully you guys can enjoy and learn from this as I go. So these knives are just your basic, this is for Maui Juice Company, I think. They cut a lot of pineapple. The acidic pineapple juice eats the edge. We've done some thinning and some tapering in the past. It's a basic Mercer kitchen knife. The nice thing is when you got the repeatability of an angle guide, anybody see the new video Outdoor 55 just made about belts and heat damage? Where he shows the microscope up close of him putting a knife to a belt and it turns brown. Just me, or I would like to know what speed that belt was and why he was just holding the knife in one position like that until it turned brown, and what type of belt it was. I think he said it was a 220 grip. So he showed that for dramatic effect, and then he went right on to the next step where he showed him continually holding a knife on a belt with no visible heat damage. But again, with no reference to speed, pressure, belt type. This knife was a foot long, and I go 1,001. 1,001. So 1 second, I'm traveling a full foot. That's less than 10 math, less than 100 milliseconds per inch. And the belt's going half as fast, and Cubitron's run supposedly 30% cooler. I get it that he had to, I don't know if you guys know the video I'm talking about, but he's got, Outdoor 55's got like a $2,000 macro lens that lets him, that's how he gets those cool shots. And I really respect that, because that's how I learned, is by observing what's really going on. People can say what they want, but if you see it firsthand, but you need to know all the variables. Fine grit belts, like the Trizex, won't remove material, and they will get hot much quicker if you just hold the knife. You never see me just hold a knife in one position. In here. Hey there. You're right there.
Take your time.
Are you here to pick up?
I am.
Are you Juice Company?
Well, what happened is I dropped my phone, and so now I haven't even been able to talk to the girls. And the last I heard was that they were dropping it off yesterday, and it's so funny. It looks like those are them.
Yep, I'm just getting them done. So every Tuesday I do a live stream with all my sharpener friends.
Oh, what's up, Sharpener friend? He's the best.
Yeah. And so we were just talking about you guys, and
yeah.
And you guys cut a lot of pineapple,
the
right?
girls are like, we're dying. We need clips.
Yay! Appreciate that. It's nice to be loved and needed.
Yeah, right?
As much as we pretend we don't.
I know.
Oh, stop. Oh, stop. all you guys cutting over there?
And
Mostly.
so I was like, all right, well, if I'm gonna be, I'm like, let me just at least stop by because I have to go to the, I have to go pick up other stuff. So I'm like, if it's not ready, that's fine. At least I can pay for it.
Nope, they're good.
Yeah.
So do you guys cut mostly pineapple or it's mostly pineapple? So I usually give you guys more of a polished edge because it'll hold up. The pineapple has that acid in it that eats the edge, no matter what we do.
Always good. And oranges.
And oranges.
So all fruit.
So it'll give you a nice, slightly bitey, but mostly polished edge, and that should hold. We also drop the angle to hold the edge.
You've always done so great with the...
We try to do a little bit more than just the sharpening. We do a little extra modification.
How about that one? We've never said that with you. That's our little biting and
So I did not grind out the recurve,
Yeah.
just because I didn't want to take it down to a toothpick.
Yeah.
But you're just using it in your hand.
So tiny. The girls were like, can we take this one? And I told them, yeah.
So we kept its character curve.
Oh.
Yep. Now we're ready. Now we're ready to go. And Ellie, she sees you.
Ellie was hanging out.
She's a.
Ellie's hanging out.
She gets. That's why she likes people.
Hi, Ruby. Hi, Ruby girl. Hi, Ruby girl. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Ellie.
She likes to dance for customers. Me too, but nobody wants
Me
to see.
too.
Nobody wants to see
Me
that.
too.
All right.
So yeah, that was the serendipity. Oh my god.
Yeah, watch the pokey points.
Yeah, I accidentally grabbed my little.
And they came with a tray.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yes, this is great.
Get the tray, and we'll put it in the tray.
This is just a local account.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you.
$40.
And 28% for you, please. You can put it in. I insist. I insist.
Okay, we're going to go like 40, boom, and cut the cap. And then I'll leave that to you right up on the
Sure.
cut the cap, and it's a
That's great. It says Candace Intelligence Agency. Candace Owens. Howard compromised by Israel. I'm in on it. Freemasons, baby. They're taking over. We're so compromised. Which is crazy because I voted for Trump. I was so stoked. I was like, he cares for America. And I'm like, what? We're fighting for war. But more than just what's happening now, I like that she didn't give us history on this information. You know, I think that's what we wanted to know. But we were kind of lied to about where we came from, what happened.
It's like Voldemort, the name we shall not speak aloud.
Name we should not say. And you know, I used to be so shy and not even talk about that. But you know what? I did it once, and I just like I care about humans, and I used to be like really right wing and very conservative. And I'm like, but that's not even it. That's what they want. It's actually just the elite.
Every day that we argue about red
What
versus
is it? No. That is what they want. Yeah, we just want to get so consistent. That's crazy. It's so they benefit from both. They benefit from all that disaster, all the shootings, all that. That's all CIA. Just the fear mongering. And it really hit me when they killed Curry. You know, and they sacrificed them. That was a sacrifice. That was big.
They did
making people healthy. No, seriously.
Stay out of trouble.
I appreciate it.
Good seeing you.
Next one.
Okay.
Thanks.
No controversy, please. Anthony Poe, hey buddy, how you doing? Whose content? Knife hugger? Me? Hello. There we go. Let me just catch up with you guys here. Apparently I'm not seeing the whole chat here. Oh, I see. Top chat. Let's get live chat. All messages. Orant asked a question a minute or two ago about if you're a single guy at home and you got just one machine with one angle guide, do I still recommend 2 different degrees? And I would say no, but on the second one you just lean on it a little bit more, if that makes any sense. I don't know how much of that conversation you heard, but we get all types of people, and yeah, probably shouldn't make it political. Actually, it wasn't political. It was so Anthony, while I got you here, I'm trying to keep up with the chat and everything. Knife hugger, which content are you talking about that's more thoughtful? Me, or I don't see the original comment, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss something. I actually had I don't get to have too many conversations, but this is one of the things that was discussed recently. So here would be just a quick example of, and in some of my older videos I have the box set up so that you can bolt the machine and it just sticks straight up in the air. It's not too hard, you know. But this is edge trailing. And I'm not gonna probably keep these edges edge trailing. Oh, here's another rusty one. Maybe I'll make another viral video. Crazy. But I was just going to do one quick demonstration of an edge trailing. Ellie. So, 120 grit belt moving away. Phone call, probably not going to answer that right now. Half of them, more than half of them are crank calls. Okay, so this is a 120 grit belt moving away. This is the most basic type of sharpening there is. I'm gonna bring up a burr, flip it over, bring up a burr the other way. Make sure it goes from tip to tail. There you go. Don't have to press hard. So we just brought up a burr on that knife. Not sure if we can zoom in and show you that, but Anthony, hopefully you're going to see this. Tony. So we're going to try and, yeah, I think you guys can see the burr there a little bit. So you just bring up a burr, no big deal. Okay. Then you come over to your 600 grit wheel or 1,000 grit wheel. This is 1,000 grit. There you go. Wheel is going away from me. Two or three steps removes the burr. Just a little bit of compound. Two swipes back and forth. No bite, but that's the polished edge. Shaven sharp. Sticking to the hair on the arm. Okay, so that's a polished edge. 1, 2, 3 steps. Bring up a burr, knock the two steps off, and realistically, you should be able to do that in under a minute. See how long it takes. I'll just do one more. This one's got some chip damage on it, so I'm going to turn up the speed a little bit. 1001, 1002, 1001, 1002. See those high carbon sparks? That's cool. Remove the burr. Just drop the edge. "30 seconds maybe. So Apex deburr polish, 3 steps, 30 seconds to a minute. Edge trailing, there's no excuse or no reason why you'd really need to go longer than that. You could put a second step in. That would be like an AA30 step, but when you go to the Scotch-Brite, it buffs and polishes that anyways, so there's no real need for that. But for most knives, I typically do an edge leading process. And then we just go ahead and we go that direction. Yeah, clean off the blue polish. And then you have to do the final clean off step with the rubbing alcohol. Give it a little squirt and a wipe. Okay, but I've got, well, these two I'm going to do the Scotch-Brite thing, buff and polish them up there on the Scotch-Brite, but we'll just do these other ones here real quick. Try to remove as little material as possible. Angle guide lets me cut in a real nice clean Apex bevel. You know, when I say clean, I mean it's consistent, it's flat. Ooh, people worry about the fillet knife because you can't keep it on the angle guide, but you can set it on the guide and then you come up just a little bit above it. And you get this perfect little tip. This one I just put the tip back on. It was all rounded over. A lot of that doesn't show up on the camera, but that's what we're doing in real time. Let's see if I can show you what we just did. So that wasn't, see how it's got like a clean grind all the way up to the tip? And it's symmetrical on both sides. That wasn't there a minute ago. It was all just kind of rounded over. I'm just going to, I'm going to not hit the black up on the top. I'm just going to satin polish the bottom. A little bit up here still. Still got to get that rust out there, but yeah, there. But let's take this. This is a 240 grit wheel, 1.5 inches wide. And then we'll just use a barkeeper's friend or something for that last little bit. There we go. Did you guys see that viral video? I know I keep talking about it, but one of the hardest things for me is when I read the comments, because I try to interact with everybody, and some of the people you just can't interact with. They're being trolls, or I had at least a dozen people that thought that was a single bevel knife that I was ruining, when it was right there on camera that you could see it wasn't a single bevel knife. But of course the comment is, way to ruin the knife. You know, idiot, doesn't even know a single bevel knife. And I'm trying to be polite, trying not to call anybody an idiot back, because that doesn't help anybody. But I'm like, actually, it's not a single bevel. I would have told you if it was. But that's what you get when you get 1 million people watching a video, is you get, and honestly, by far and by large and by far, 97% of the comments were positive, and I really appreciate that. That was pretty cool to have 1 million people see a video and say that's amazing. Anyway, made me feel good. I tried to explain to the people that were misinformed. We right down to the heat treat on the tip while I'm spraying water on it. One guy said I should completely disassemble the knife, reforge it, reheat treat it, re-dunk it retemper it, and then reassemble it. Tell me you're a knife maker without telling me you're a knife maker. The tip was broken. I just ground the tip off, but I kept it underwater, and I don't know, you guys probably saw it. It's just funny though. The one guy's like, "You ruined it. The temper is gone. It is ruined." The correct way is to completely tear apart the knife and reforge it in a furnace. Oh my God. These people just want their knife sharpened, man. They don't want to I'm trying something here. I just used the 1000 grit to remove the rust without removing the black. Just lightly. I just want to see what could happen. Took it out a little bit. Polished edge, right? Veggie chopper. Polished edge doesn't need the bite or the tooth. Keep the work area clean, guys. New leather belt. Spray a little on. Wait till it gets sticky under my thumb. That stiction is what I'm looking for. And then when I give it a couple swipes down the back, you get that bite on the edge. Woo! Very light, actually. You can over polish it and you'll go right past the bitey part. Like for a fillet knife, you want that to slice through meat. Pocket knife. Light stropping. Should feel like a scalpel. I had one of the comments say I wasn't doing the top 5% and the bottom 5%, probably because they couldn't hear it on the camera. I guess they just think that I would go through all this trouble and I wouldn't do the tip of the knife while I was sharpening. Because that makes sense. Something's got to be wrong here. Inconceivable. See, that one came out nice. Actually, both of them came out nice. Don't even need to really charge extra. Charge a couple bucks extra. You know, it's a Japanese knife, so it care and consideration. But you bring them back to them like that. And sure, I could do more. You could take and use scuffy pads. Anything you do, though, is going to be at risk of taking off that black coating. I should put these back in their little cases. Oh, it's got a cute little case. Well, now's a good time if you guys got any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to do demonstrations or anything I can, because I think we got a fairly short day here on the old sharpening channel, which isn't always a bad thing. We did a little bit of the laser as well. Front of the shop looking good. I figured by now we'd have at least one walk-in. I know we got some people that were planning to come this way today. They told me they were coming. Let's see what we got. This weekend, I had a guy, really nice guy, come and train with me for all day Saturday. And we went, he was fairly new. Everybody's at a different point in their sharpening career. Let's put that right up there. And so he had some basic machines, but he wanted to, he's thinking about going part-time, full-time and moving into a retirement career. We forget that a lot of people that become sharpeners were successful, skilled people in various professions for most of our life. We didn't just materialize here with no knowledge or background or history. I mean, my background is in mechanical engineering. I'm also a dive master in scuba diving. I've done things. We've all done things. And it's my privilege, I think, to be able to share what I've learned and now getting it refined and honed to a point where I think people, it's pretty distilled down. And so we covered safety first, the basics of the machines, how to try not to get hurt. Everything's edge trailing, the edge leading. This is why we don't use a 2-inch machine edge leading. The motor, you can't stop it. If it's pointing, anything's pointing towards you and it's going to fail at some point, you don't want to be having it come towards you. That's my concept anyways. So the 2-inch machines are all edge trailing away. The 1-inch machine goes down. It's not coming towards me. And then after safety, we went right into the edge trailing. And that's what I was talking with one of the guys this morning on the phone on my commute in, was edge trailing. You bring up a burr, you remove the burr, you strop the edge. It should be razor sharp. Well, actually, it should be razor sharp. It should be polished sharp. So 1, 2, 3, polished sharp edge. That is a really basic concept of sharpening. You practice holding your angles, you practice the pressure, you got the right tools and the right equipment, the Cubitron belts. There's more than one way to do it, but if you got the right tools, it makes it easier to remove the burr, easier to strop without rolling the edge. When I started, I had a big fluffy wheel and a green compound like we all seem to start with. And all I was getting was this black gunk everywhere, and my edges were rolled and tried to grab the knife on me. And the fluffy wheels are trouble for most people. You get to a medium hard or harder felt wheel, or even something like this bad boy down here. I pulled this guy out this weekend. This is the 2x36. This is the workhorse that I ran in my van. It's a Palmgren, variable speed. This is a bad mamma jamma right here. Palmgren, variable speed. It's a 6-inch bench grinder, but the grinder then lets you have a safety housing around your wheel, so you're less likely to get hurt by it. The motor is flipped. Motor is flipped 180 degrees. So this was pointed out the door of my van. It did not just snap together. I had to modify and custom, space. A lot of people don't realize that some mechanical aptitude is involved to do some of the stuff. Unless you just go buy a little buck tool or something like that, you need to have, and some people didn't, don't have that. This machine did not just go together. I had to grind things and adjust things and put spacers in mostly on the 2x36 side. But what you get, let me put you over here. So this has got 3 presets. I think it's 900, 1800, and 3600 RPMs. So with the push of a button, It's purring right along at 1800 RPMs. If you want to go up a little higher, you can just hit the button here. Really nice speed control. And this over here is my patent pending cardboard wheel that is still one of my favorite ways to remove a burr. What you end up with it's very similar to a leather wheel. Leather wheel is very smooth and it's solid. I mean, this is slots, but it's a solid. When it's spinned up, it's a one mass of leather, and so it will develop heat pretty quick. And then one of the cool things about the cardboard, all I did was just take a cereal bowl and cut out some circles, glue them together. I did not put glue on the top 1.5 inches around the outside, so that as the wheel wears down, you don't get into Elmer's glue or wood glue. But it's easy to true it up. It doesn't have a lot of weight, so it doesn't vibrate and chatter. It has holes in the middle that dissipate the heat, so it has a very high heat dissipation coefficient. Probably the most important thing is the surface has got little pukas in it because it's cardboard. Pukas is a Hawaiian word for tiny hole. And so the tiny holes hold the compound, and it feels like velvet. It's got a very soft feel to it, but listen, it's hard. It's slightly, as it's rotating, there's a light reflecting spot, and I know it's showing up on the camera because I'm looking through the lens. But that light reflecting spot is where I press in, and it deforms just slightly enough to give me feedback pressure. So you got your speed, you got your temperature control, you got your hard, medium hard service with just enough pressure for feedback control, and the end result, I might try and sharpen this dang machete one more time. Let's see what happens here. So Anthony, or Tony, we are a week or two away from having a full product line for the Twice as Sharps, including Scotch-Brites, leather, and we'll also have the new CB diamond wheels too. Let me go ahead and just see if we can't make something happen here with this. You're right there, sir. So I'm just going to take this up. My old baby right here. So it's going up and away, just so you guys know. So I'm going edge trailing. Flip it over. Blend it all together a little bit. Now let's see what the so I didn't do a Scotch-Brite on this step. I'm just letting the cardboard wheel. And I'm just watching that burr. And there it goes off. Without even a Scotch-Brite wheel to loosen it. And so that did a mirror polishing and a Scotch-Briting. Or not Scotch-Briting, but remember before we were struggling a little bit? Let me go ahead and just set this off here. Guys, I'll be right there. And so that was the third time's the charm. That's what we're kind of looking for. So a lot of it has to do with the steel and the technique, and if you deburr and so forth. And there we go. Get you guys over here. How's it going, guys? Good. Jeff, what's going on, man? Hey, dude. I'm on the right side of the grass, and we are. I'm doing videos for YouTube and stuff like that. So one of them hit 1.2 million. Are you monetizing? Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, we're monetized. What you got? Oh, here's a Honda guy. Yeah, that's right. Let me see what you got. This one is quite new, but we're not very good steel. No, in fact, all the tips are. How the tips get flat? I think I got that from the Japanese store. See, well, I mean, this has been. I'll do what I can. I'm probably doing no charge for you and just say aloha. But let's see what we can do. Jeff, are you getting some stuff sharpened today, my friend? Let me do. Thank you. I appreciate lawn compliments always. You know I like a good lawn compliment. So,
I've been revamping my business.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the knives and stuff and holsters and stuff just weren't going anywhere. So now I'm making briefcases and ladies' purses, charging outrageous amounts of money and stuff selling.
Made on Maui will always have a place, I think.
I just did a corporate event at the Grand Ole. They wanted me to come in and stamp 75 wallets of their new album.
Yep.
And it was somebody else's wallets, and I go, I don't normally work on other people's stuff. And, oh, it's from Maui, and I'm like, I'm the only real leather guy in Maui, and I didn't make them.
Right.
And I go, oh, it's this place in Paia. So I look them up, and it says, designed in Maui, made in China.
Oh no.
So I said, I'll do it, but I don't want to do it. So I gave them kind of like a fuck off price.
Right.
So I said, yeah, I can do it for $2,000 for 3 hours. They said, okay, send us an invoice, and they paid it in the morning.
Okay.
I said, okay. I'll be your Huckleberry. I had to sign a photo release for it.
Well, you know what it is. It's just for they don't want to work today, so bring that. Let me do yours real quick, and then I got something cool to show you when we get done.
Get ahead of the storm.
All right. Yeah, exactly. We got the storm coming. So here's the situation, boys. Rusty as hell. Somebody has ground the teeth flat, which basically ruins me being able to do a quick down and dirty job. But what we're going to do is, and it's also not, the teeth aren't alternating back and forth. It's just a wreck. It's just a train wreck. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut a bevel in on both sides. I wouldn't charge for this either. You can do something cool, do the best you can, not charge for it, and then so there I did the teeth. Actually, they might be alternating. Yeah, every other tooth. Almost, actually. And then you just feel for the bite. Yeah, we're getting there. So now the bite is actually back on those. And so they were, even though it was so rusty you couldn't tell, every other tooth is alternating every other direction. And I'm sharpening the outside and essentially apexing every tooth from the other side just by running it down like that. Okay, there's one. My buddy Jeff yelled magic, so if you want to do magic, you just come over and you scotch spread it. Just shines it up a little more. Okay, be right back. Yeah, I mean, with what we have to work with, this one's even rusted upward. That's been hanging out. Where you really want to have your dust extraction going. There we go. Nice. I can see it all sucking over that way. Orange Sparks, high carbon. And then you just feel like, pretend like you're a tree, and it's sticking to my thumb, every one of them. Pop, 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 pop. I did both sides. Now see, this one wasn't crisscross. This is just straight down the middle, but we apexed it right up to the top on both sides. So you can see why I wouldn't charge a huge amount for that. I do it more as a courtesy and a community. You know, this guy lives out in the jungle out in Hana. I'm going to take care of him, no charge. Just a few seconds, no big deal. There you go. $10. $10. I got to see fucking jungle folk.
I got a big search for some camping up there and see parkland there. Hey, is there any wild game up there I should be concerned about?
So my buddy Jeff's here, and he's a firearms instructor. I was thinking about showing him a little bit on the laser. He's usually got some pretty good stories too.
Some of them escaped from Hearst Castle.
That's right.
Zoo,
Yeah.
but they don't tell anyone.
No, they've been up in the hills there. We have them right across.
That's what he said. Yeah. That's huge.
Oh, yeah. We get bigger than that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Well, this was cleary-eyed, half still asleep. Estimates.
Tell your friends, tell your family.
Well, there's still the Hana Farmers
I did.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember you from there.
Yeah, I used to
Yeah,
love coming
white
out
van
there.
or something?
Little white van, driving all over the place. It was good.
No, this is easier from here, though.
Yeah, it is. That's actually, I built it, what I decided is I built a young man's game. Just running all around the island. I did it. You know, check it off the list. I did it. Now I get to come here in the morning and turn on some 80s rock and
Wait for
drink
customers to
a
come
cup
in.
of coffee. And
Come to you.
when it gets slow, I live stream with my friends. And
Yeah, I've got a couple of good quality Japanese machetes. I should have brought those. What do you charge for?
$10 usually. Yeah, machetes I usually charge 10. In fact, I just did this one. This is for a coconut chopper buddy of mine. And
Oh, actually, that was the last video you did, I think. You were cutting paper with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so that one is one I just sat and polished. We've done several restos today.
Cool.
It's he likes it because of the handle and the thickness.
It's got some weight to it.
And it's just got that nice, you don't need nothing big and flexy. And he's had this for so long that we've sharpened it hundreds of times over the last 10 years.
Wow.
And it's still cruising along.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Well, mahalo, you guys.
You bet.
Have a good one.
All right, good sir. Woo.
So,
Really nice.
so I got to show you a new trick that you have to use in your business.
Okay. I forgot what to do with my
And you're a smart guy, so you probably already know.
I'm a smart ass.
Oh, so I'm building, there's quality control Daisy.
Like it.
And then this is my chief of security.
Love it.
So I'm building a new website.
Let me here.
Oh, are you still live streaming?
I'm live streaming, but let me show the guys. Guys, this is my friend Jeff. He does leather work. Go ahead and hold that right up to the camera.
See?
Yeah, so he's got, that's some of his handmade leather work that he's doing. Show him the security dog and stuff.
That's the really cool stuff.
So there's not very many made on Maui guys. That is a killer advertising. I mean, that's just what social media needs.
And this is my head of quality control, Daisy.
I love it. Love it. No, that's really good. So he was making knife sheaths and other leather things, and we're finding out that there's a market for leather purses and handbags and
Briefcases, wallets.
all the other stuff. Come here. Come here. What do you got?
Why is she being so shy?
I don't know. It's guys. She's got it. She's on. Oh, there he is. He's right there. Here he is. Come here.
That's one of the new cigar things I did.
Ooh, that's cool looking.
Yeah.
There we go.
Be a shop dog.
There's my shop dog. Shop dog. So yeah, I've been doing. I started doing this thing where I just do live streams on Tuesday, and then everybody can ask questions and hang out, and I've usually got a pretty good surplus of work, and then we can answer questions, do questions and answers and stuff like that. Little devil.
Well, I thought I'd stop by and catch up a little bit.
It's been a while, man.
Well, I've been revamping the website and, you know,
It looks so good. It's really good.
so you know how that's staged.
I do. AI. Yeah, yeah. No, it looks. I mean, it doesn't need to be.
Remember the old days where we used to have to set everything
Yeah.
up and jiggle it around?
No, you're top tier. Here comes a customer. Hey, so you're getting ready for the big storm. You think we're gonna get a lot of rain this Friday?
Kona is always a problem.
Yeah. Well, that's when my waterfall kicks in.
Oh,
So I've got a backyard waterfall that floods over the back side of my property down into my yard and makes it in a swimming pool, and that's why I dug. That's why I dug those emergency storm drains. Yeah. But I'm going to try to divert with some bricks up on top of the rock wall. I was going to do sandbags or concrete, but I've got all these flat pavers.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a little. It doesn't need to be high. It just needs to be 2 to 3.
hydraulics, man.
I know. Well, divert. You can't stop.
Yeah.
You just got to divert.
Well, the last rain model I saw for Lahaina was 19 inches.
Yeah, I'm diverting. I'm going to be building that
That
tonight.
that usually means they're gonna get hit worse than we will. We'll probably still get like 8 or 9.
Yeah. Well, it comes down the road, and then it takes a left-hand turn. It goes right off the embankment by the uphill side neighbors. It comes right into my yard at full, like 400 gallons a minute kind of flow.
That sucks. What's these about? Are these just like Japanese?
Which ones? These?
Yeah, like
The Opinel saw.
just for like pruning?
Yeah, they're just an Opinel.
And they're not a folder, or are
They are.
Oh, France. I don't buy anything from France.
They're not France. They are. They're the Scandinavian. There's Opinels.
It says made in France.
Okay. Never mind.
It's too snobby for my taste.
French kiss. We were in Indonesia once and we were eating our dinner, minding our own business, and I heard the lady behind us say, "But of course, French is the most beautiful language in the world." And
Come here. Take one of those.
see, Jeff gives 0 Fs. We don't care. Once you survive a few
Exactly.
military conflicts.
Exactly. It's all gravy.
No. Well, you know what? I'd love to have an off-camera discussion about our current situations, but we'll do that later.
I'll take one.
Okay.
See, online sales.
How much are they? $40. Thank you. Are we dead even now on everything else?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go home and make a leather case for it.
You want a 50 and a 10 or
Whatever you
320?
got's fine.
20, to spend easier.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
No, I just want to make sure we're square, and then yeah, we just got our camera system back engaged.
cool.
Oh, I can feel it coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at the box.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Good, sir. There you go. Woof. We got a woofer. Woof, wiggler.
Send you a picture of the case I made for
Ellie.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
That's actually perfect, exactly what that's for.
Look at you, you're so adorable.
I've seen so many new ones, these power tools now, they just-
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
What a cutie
Everybody,
Yeah.
catch up.
All right, my sir.
Have a good one.
All right, my friend. I will see you soon. I'll message you.
You need to rent a boat or anything, Paul?
Yeah, if I need a life, like some sort of rescue line, I'll
Relatable.
let you know. Sounds good. Hello, ma'am.
If you need to rent a boat, you can call me too.
Okay.
My best friend runs all of that.
Well, we're talking about the flooding coming up in
Oh, that kind of thing. Yeah, what is this? Everybody's
so.
talking like it's gonna be it's supposed
Another
to
big
hit like
storm.
Wednesday or
the. Depends
Thursday.
if your yard floods. My yard floods.
Oh, okay.
I get like a river coming down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
So
goes
that's
up like-
intense.
Yes. Yeah. In the middle of the night, I'm out there filling up my swimming pool.
Oh, wow.
What's your phone number?
808-870-4173. I expect you to remember these things. No,
The
I'm
phone
joking.
numbers?
I'm
No,
joking. I'm just
no.
looking. How have you been? Okay.
Okay.
Ellie looks good.
Ellie's great.
She's happy. She's so
Spin around.
cute.
Let's spin
Yes,
around.
and she'll bring
There you
treat
go.
bag when she picks
There
up
you
her
go.
stuff.
What's your
Yes.
time frame? When are you looking for these? When do you need them?
ASAP. It's always ASAP.
Today?
Yeah. Well,
Today?
I mean, no, I love that just because I've got a lot. I've got some bookings and a bunny rabbit and guinea pig. You know, I've got
I-
cat. You know, weird things where I need. I need to have it, but I don't
Okay.
want to pressure you. I'm happy to come back. I was out here the other day. The problem is when I'm out here, I don't have my tools.
Yeah.
That is.
Where are
the
you
problem
at
for
now?
me. I'm still in Conway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just don't have the brick and mortar.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that closed last January.
All right. Well, let me.
Lost weight too. Look
A
at you.
little bit. I'm just wearing
Yeah.
slimming clothes today.
Yeah, but the navy with the full pant to the.
We're actually at the beginning. My wife and I are actually at the begin. This is the before picture. So. I'm
What are you
hoping-
guys doing? Are you
Just-
walking
just-
and watching
she's
what
walking
you
a
eat?
lot
Okay,
and
the
then watching
walking
movies.
Yeah.
And not enjoying anything.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's hard because when we get over 50, the metabolism changes.
Yeah.
You can't eat whatever you want.
It's not
whenever
fair
you
anymore.
want.
It's
No,
not
it's
fair.
not fair. It's definitely not fair.
No.
All right, give me a text or call me if you're able to get it out at 3. I can come
I'm
back.
gonna do them right now and get them done.
Oh, you want me to wait?
No. It's gonna take me at least an hour, but I'm gonna do them and then I'll give you a
I'll just
message.
drive back, yeah.
Okay.
I'll drive back here.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yay. Ed Sutherland asked about the two Scotch Brights and the difference between them. The difference between the Scotch Brights is this can either be a 120 or a 240 grit. I like the wider because it leaves less of a focused snail trail. You can cover more uniform area, leave a uniform pattern. But the 120 and the 240 will remove rust, but they also create a burr. So think about that. So you're trying to deburr, and that's where, right now I'm running 1,000 grit on here, 600 or 1,000 grit. They don't create as much or almost no additional burr. They can remove a large feather burr and make it go away, and then you can strop. So you can use either a felt wheel or a leather wheel or a cardboard wheel. Look, I got all three in the same picture there. So for your final stropping step. And so each one does something a little different. The 240 grit is amazing for satin polishing, boom, and rust removal, but it creates a little burr. This, I'm starting to like the 1,000 grit. I used to love the 600 grit, but the 1,000 grit removes the burr and it doesn't take out the coarse grit scratches quite as well. You're always looking for this nice grit jump to go from that satin polish to this satin polish to a mirror polish. Well, 1,000 grit satin polish to here really does good. High luster, near mirror polish, but to go from 1,000 grit to 240 grit is too big of a jump. So what I had before is a 240 grit, 600 grit mirror polish. It's okay. I mean, they're both good. Ideally, you'd need one more step, and who's got time for that, right? Options. Everyone's got options. I'm just showing different ways to do it. So you could go 240, 600, 1000 grit polish, and you're going to get a high mirror polish. You could go with several belt steps, which was initially my intention, was to go with a 80 grit, 120 grit, 400 grit. I'll tell you the new star of the show over here. It's the 100 grit Trizac. I can't answer that phone right now. So this is the A160. A160. That's a 100 grit Trizac. So it can go from an 80 grit 80 grit Cubitron, and then you can get a uniform satin polish and a smooth, clean uniform. I just said that uniform satin polish, and in one step, you go from there to a 240 grit. But the Trizac 100 grit is a literal game changer. I love it. I've demonstrated it several times on camera as well. Let me take a minute here, guys. Let me regroup. Crispy, hotty. Yeah, we're busy. Pedro, thanks for joining in. Yes, the PowerTech, you can flip the base without having to rewire. It's just like most of the videos that we've done. You can just put it on, open up the bottom, and then there's usually two big Phillips head screws, bigger ones, that you crack those loose, rotate the machine around, and tighten it right back down, and boom. And I say it a lot. It's one of those do what I say, not what I do sort of things. But ideally, in a shop, if I had people working in my shop with me, there would be a board coming across the front of these machines. So there's no way that you can drop a knife or put something into the front of this wheel as it's spinning up and over. This is the work area. So you block off everything else. You see, like down here on this one, down here on this little guy here, this was my work area when I was at work, from top dead center to down here in front. But the part that could hurt you, where you don't want to hit a knife here, is completely covered. So if you were to cover the front of your machine, probably have to leave a little switch spot, but just a board or something like that, anything would work. I might just have to do that, since I am a demonstration person. You know, people look for advice. I think that's one of the things that needs to be careful. I might be going off on a rant or a tangent here, but because when I'm just showing you how I sharpen, that's one thing. If I'm showing you cool things to get you to watch the videos and, you know, trying to make something creative and innovative, my first concern is this safe to show 100,000 people a month on YouTube? Because 100,000 people are going to see me, and you know, a two-inch machine going, somebody's going to put an edge leading angle guide on a 2-inch machine, and I think it's going to hurt them. Nice, Ed. Congratulations. I think you'll be very happy with those. For sure. Patriot Paul, if you're getting Trizacs, you might want to consider getting the Cubitrons as well, just because the Cubitrons are better at doing stock removal and things like that. I know the current fad is for the Bora belts, and we're going to start offering the Bora belts, but there's a reason why we haven't offered the Bora belts. I've tried them, I've tested all the different belts that come out when they come out, because I'm always looking for something better than what we currently offer. And I don't think they're better. I think they're cheaper. But cheaper ain't better. And better can be cost effective, better can be results, better can be longevity, or better can be all the above. So this is a very soft little Japanese stone. I believe it's called a Nagura stone. And they're used to, basically like an eraser. They will clean and prep your stones. I do flatten my stones. Try not to. I mean, I do flatten them, but I try not to over flatten them because these are Naniwa diamond. So what I have is I have a couple different plates, and I've got a fine side and a these are still perfectly flat. I don't see any low spots. You can use the pencil trick, mark it with the pencil. This is a very aggressive diamond plate when you need to really take an ugly old, like a regular Japanese water stone. These Naniwa diamond are in a resin matrix. And the resin matrix is so hard that it can take a long time. I can see just on the edge where it was a little bit, because you use the edge for the ride lines on a lot of this stuff. All right, so we've prepped our stones. That was a groomer. Very nice lady. We've been working with her for, God, 7 or 8 years now. And groomers have their own unique requirements. Yeah, I'm worried about it, Dylan. I mean, God bless him. I like him and I appreciate him, but if you can catch a 1x30 belt edge leading, then somebody's going to catch a 2x42 belt edge leading. 1x30s are going straight down. The angle guide is mechanically fixed to the frame. It's made out of metal. And I know I'm broken record on this stuff, but the angle guide is locked to the frame. It can't move. There's a platen sticking up. The platen's sticking up. The angle guide's over the top. They're all bolted together. And so when the knife catches, not if, when a knife catches on a 1x30 belt, it will tear or pop the belt. What happens is if the knife catches right here and it's going at 20 miles an hour, let's say, which would be, slow speed, the belt goes behind the angle guide, which is what you're seeing here. The belt goes behind the angle guide, and the angle guide naturally diverts the knife to the front because the knife is in front of the angle guide. And so it moves down and separates almost instantly, and it loses momentum. But the requirement is that the angle guide be fixed. If it's held on by magnets, it's not going to be fixed. If it's made out of plastic, it's probably not going to be fixed. If the belt is 2 inches wide and it's not going to tear apart, and the motor is twice as strong, even if it's going at half the speed, it's not going to stop. I hope that is just me being a nervous Nelly, which I'm usually not. I'm usually the guy doing flip-flops and no sunglasses. So, but again, that's the kind of thing that I wouldn't show on camera, because I know that he's got 20,000 subs, and people are going to follow his example. Well, if he says it's safe, it must be safe. And I'm just worried about the safety issue. I'm just getting the clipper blades ready to go over here. Well, Patriot Paul, let me know what you think of that one, because we have a slimline version. Well, the other thing besides having safety reservations, Dylan, is there a need for it? You guys watch me sharpen every day, and I think people are trying to just do something different so that they're not, doing it the same way as Cliff. But honestly, if you're creating a new method just to do something different for content or to not be following the leader kind of thing, I don't know if that's a great thing or not. I don't need an edge leading angle guide on my 2-inch machine. The 2-inch machines, I used this one at the farmer's market for 5 years, and 2-inch machines are really good at 2-inch machines are really good at doing a couple things. They're good at thinning, like Ryan Swanson first showed, Japanese knife thinning, any type of knife thinning. A 2-inch belt thins more uniformly, removes more material. It's the right tool for the job. You can do it with a 1-inch. And it's also good for large objects like machetes, cleavers, lawnmower blades. But there's a very few instances where I would think you would need or want to go edge leading with a 2-inch belt that you need to. In fact, I can't think of any. And so there you've created a solution for a problem that didn't exist, which is similar to the KM, how do you say that name? The KFMK5, which they took our cutout design. Here he goes. That was my cutout design. And they gave it to the Chinese company and called it their invention. And now China is going to try and manufacture the KMFK5 for the Vivor. But they forgot one thing. They forgot that the belt on the Vivor mounts from the right-hand side. And so our slimline comes in from the left. And that means that you can swap the belts out easily. And then we also have the reversible swing arm so that you can take that same base unit and make it an edge leading or an edge trailing angle guide without having to buy a whole nother angle guide. So it's leaner, slimmer, way slimmer, and then it can go edge leading or edge trailing, and the belt comes in from the side. And it wasn't somebody else's idea, stolen and given to a Chinese company. But some people are going to like it. Some people are going to see that big shiny thing and think this thing must be awesome. Because it's, oops, sorry, kicked it. Because it's awesome. I got one just to look and see what's going on. Some of the newbie guys complain that they can't get the belt close enough. So this has got adjustments that you can't do while it's on the machine, I don't think, but you can move the thing forward and backwards. It's just a Clunkosaurus. Yeah, wrong side, giant thing, needs a cutout. Way bulky. You're going to run into it, is what's going to happen. The idea is to have an angle guide that is not in your way and holds the angle. Other than that, it's not going to help you be a better sharpener. Yeah, Dylan, we actually got them back in stock now, I think. Let me check. Yeah, we're fully stocked on them, and we're sending them out with all the screws and attachments also. Ellie, you got your toy? I heard you squeak. You got your toy? Get your toy. Get it. I personally just think one of the coolest, here they are right here. So there's the full slimline V-bore angle guides, and then they're coming with 2 M6 screws and 2 M5 screws, depending on which adapter you need. But you see how it comes from it mounts on the left side, and then the belt can come in on the right. And then if you need, oh, I dropped it, clumsy. So there's the mirrored image, the swing arms, which is the one we use for the clip-on, the edge leading clip-on. Oh, that's the edge trailing. Then we got the edge leading. And then, so this piece is the mirror of that one. So you can put it on like that. And now you've got an edge trailing angle guide without having to buy a whole nother angle guide. It's a pretty elegant solution. So the angle guide is very slim. It slides right behind the existing platen. And then if you want to upgrade or modify from an edge leading angle guide to an edge trailing, you just need to buy one swing arm adapter. And then you're good to go. But it doesn't look all fancy like the Chinese one. We're still in the version 2.0. The very first version came out, and it did do very well. Give me a second. There we go. So I guess we'll just finish a few of these. So what you have is I have a curved little grooming. These are the Rainbow Fusion. So you can do these a couple different ways. Sorry guys, I get off on that tangent. It still burns me that guys that don't even really know what they're doing kind of came on the scene trying to convince everybody that there's better cool stuff out there, and they literally just took our design and gave it to China, and they still screwed it up. So good on them. What I'm going to do is just cut that bevel in. I know you guys don't want to hear me whine. It's a 320 grit. CBN. These curved ones, you kind of got to learn how to do this. So I'll cut that in there. And I'll be honest with you guys, like I always am. Sometimes I'll move that burr back to the front. I'm holding these very carefully so that nothing can hit the side of that wheel. I just gently brush the burr back to the front, and then I'll deburr on the bevel. Then I'll strop. Then I'll close them together gently. And we will test on some fur. Perfect. It's a great question. I don't think it does. The question was, oh, Ed, it's all right, man. I get all bent. Some of that stuff. You know, the truth is that you can do this job with any of these bench grinders. These aren't the best. You know, there's $1,000 belt sanders. There's $50 angle guides. At the end of the day, it's you and your tool. And people tend to develop. It's like that Ford and Mustang thing, right? People, if you got a Ford, man, Mustang or Chevy suck. I had a Ford, and I swore by it, even though I knew it sucked. Just kidding. I had a Ford Mach 1 that, God, I wanted to love that car so bad, and it just hurt my feelings every time. Freaking rust bucket ended up catching on fire and bursting into flames, and I was too stupid to walk away, so I rebuilt it. A Ford Mach 1 rust bucket, and I rebuilt it. So the answer to, does the curved Swanson platen fit on a, and you can see it's not gonna, there's some magnets there, but that's not gonna be what we need. You need this thing to clip. And Ryan does things, Ryan has a unique characteristic to it. He sharpens down, belt going down. And so he holds the knife edge down, which is cool, but his muscle memory is pulling up away from the belt as the belt is pushing down. And so for me, my muscle memory is all pulling and holding towards me while the belt is pulling it away from me, which means if I ever let go, it's going away from me, where if anything happens with that, it's going to go down. But so his curved platen is designed to hang because the belt is pulling down from above, so it just hangs and rests there. And it works on the flat one. The other thing, so it works. The other thing you'll notice with his design is it's fatter towards the back, and that's because when he's using it, he's using this part, and he wants to keep the clearance here. Basically, it's an anti-chatter device so that the belt doesn't come out and hit the blade and ruin the knife edge. That's why this is like this, right? So you go like that. And the fat parts here, I would prefer it actually had a steeper drop off on this side, because that's where I need my drop off to be, and then a tapered longer way out here. And I if it was for me, I would want it to be fatter towards the top, so it has a nice drop. You can see I've even got my platen raised all the way up, and my platen dropped all the way down like that, so that I've got a higher bump up here. But it works. And part of what makes it work isn't necessarily the curve. The curve is a piece of it so that you're not chattering on it. But the other part that makes the platen work is there's a little bit of a soft give to it. And that allows you to blend multifacets together, and it allows for a nice smooth, especially when you take this and you tie it with that P100 grit, A160. That's where you really get, I mean, it's a good one. And we may be coming out with something like this. I don't want to step on Ryan's toes. He's been a good friend. You know, this is fine. We're going to need different products for different machines. I'm actually considering trying to do one for a 1x30. But thinning on a 1x30 is its own special thing. It's not necessarily... So what I didn't show you, because I got the whetstones already, and then I realized that these are all curved shears. And so they do make a ride line maker that you can clamp it in and get the precise angle. And another way you can do it is use a crock stick, some sort of ceramic, that's about 2,000 grit, and you put it right on there. I know Todd's gonna cringe. Okay, we okay? I lost you guys for a minute there. And so what that does is that'll put just a half a degree low back angle, but it's not a positive. It won't hurt anything. And there is the ride line maker if you need it. These are falling apart, to be honest. There we go. Okay, now we're set. So I just freshened up the ride line on the inside. Cut in a new bevel. You can do it multiple different ways. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it today. And this is after, lots of different practice and techniques, trying different things. Where'd they go? There. When I do this on the inside, I'm just barely touching it. But the outside I'm pressing in. And if you're wondering if you can get something sharp like this, it's very light. It's shaving the hair off my arm. Groomers, you want to leave it a little toothier by nature. So usually I'll just take that last little bit of the burr and I'll cut it off. And then you can always test with your test fur. And that's going to get her going. These are, I don't know how many of you guys have groomers that you sharpen for groomers. Groomers are kind of notorious for not saying goodbye to things when they are finished. Clipper blades, just one more sharpening. The thing is ground down to where it's flat on, there's no rails left, and they want it to be one more sharpening. Okay, same deal. This is a thinner. With the teeth on it, so you don't want to grind those teeth off. They're just there to hold. If they feel like they got a bite to them, I won't mess with them. If they need a little bit, I'll just give it the lightest of touch. I'm not grinding out the V-notch. Literally just touched it. No pressure at all, and then you got your bite back. Ellie, what are you doing? Always got to be very careful with scissors around a wheel. That's how I almost got hurt. Is the side of, while I was sharpening, or while I was buffing, this part came over and hit the side of the wheel. And it went pop! And it was gone. And it shot up past my head, hit the ceiling. So you'll notice I'm always holding both sides. Everything is very firm. That's the best safety advice I can give anybody if you're going to use a buffing wheel with a scissors, is it's the thing that almost wrecked me. Okay. Of course, the real test with these guys. Nice. No snags, no drags. You close all the way, lift straight up. Looking for any snags, any drags. Everything's coming away clean. Don't make a problem if it ain't there, run away. Cool. Dylan, you can go. Yeah, maybe I was going a little fast. I mean, the 600 grit and the 1000 grit are interchangeable. They will both do what you need them to do. Squeaky, squeaky. The 1000 grit will let you get closer to a mirror polish on the back end. But the 600 grit can leave you a better finish if you're coming from the 80 grit and the 240 grit. Love me some clipper blades. So a little bit of the oil and oh my God, where's all my tools? There it is. So this is all the materials from Nebraska Blades. The shop machine also has got some really good products for putting on the wheels. Shop machine's got a really good wheel. This is the Big Red from Nebraska Blades, or the Edge Pro. Sorry, it used to be Nebraska Blades. Okay, once you get your sticky stuff on there, all you gotta do is put a little bit of the powdery stuff. And then you rub it in place. That sets the grit, I guess. This machine also has the ability for dust extraction, which is very cool. I'm not even in camera. What an idiot. That's how much I hate clipper blades. I can't, Ed, you can't. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate that. Any support you guys can give would be muchly appreciated. The clipper blades can't be sharpened on a belt. The wheel itself is not flat. It's got a slight taper to it. And that slight taper allows for a very subtle hollow grind to be accurately placed inside. And you need the hollow grind there to make the surfaces come together. It's not flat on flat, it's hollow ground on hollow ground, and then the pressure actually puts them down closer to being flat on flat. So you just got to take these little fiddly things apart, and you got your spring and your ears, and then you got your cutter and your comb for each one. Okay. Chris, I don't know about the 1x30 version, and I definitely didn't say it was a flimsy piece of junk. I just am worried about the 2-inch version being possibly a safety hazard. Paul does a lot of great stuff. I respect all his content. He tries to share a lot of things with people. We're both, you know, doing our thing, and we do it differently for sure. I try to support him as much as I can. I was just speaking in general of a safety concern I have with the 2-inch. Alright, so let me get you guys over here. Might be a better spot to put you. There we go. So I just took those little bad boys apart. This is my sacrifice blade. Once that just knocks off any extra clipper blade, the grit. Now we can get down to business. Perfect. Doesn't take long to actually do the work, even when you're doing one at a time like you do with these systems. And when you get done, you always inspect your work in the light. I see one little spot kind of in the middle where it doesn't look quite right. Hit it again if you have to. There we go. That's a good question. What song do I hum? Thank God I'm almost done with clipper blades. I don't know. Perfect. Yay, clipper blades. Nice. Thanks everybody for watching too, by the way. The song I'm currently humming is It Feels Like It's About Lunchtime. That's all right. So what are you guys all doing today? Everybody working from home, or I know some of you guys have got routes you're running. Out cruising. Got me on your phone while you're driving around. Be careful. Hey, another question for anybody that's doing a lot of sharpening. Would you guys be interested in like, you know how Amazon has subscription offers where you can just have your products automatically sent out to you every 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, and so you wouldn't have to worry about it? We can offer a discount, and we just set it up. I started setting it up last night on the website to offer subscription based purchasing for everybody. So if you got your business and you know you're running how many Cubitrons, how many Trizacks a month, you can just set it up to send you 10 of each or whatever you want every 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, and even get a little discount while you're doing it. And we're just setting that up now. We're also getting ready to add a ton more stuff. We got new scientific measuring equipment coming out, microscopes, magnifying glasses, especially if you're doing detailed work on shears and things like that, the kind of stuff that can help you get moving along that way. And then we're going to add the new belt products coming. That's going to be the next big thing that we add, will be the belts. It looks like people want the Bora belts. I have a good idea why. I started sampling Bora belts about a year or two ago, and I just found that they wear out too fast. But you can buy a Bora belt for $325, and maybe it'll do. I don't know. You guys tell me how many belt knives are you getting per belt? How many knives per Bora do you get? P120. Patriot Paul, the Bora belts are not the Pro Value. The Pro Value are your basic red ceramic, which is like the VSM, the Maverick, the Red Label. It's a red ceramic belt. And do they last a long time? No, nothing will last as long as a Cubitron, but that is essentially the exact same belt as the Red Label, the VSM, the Maverick, the Combat. It's a red ceramic belt. And then the new one that's also our Pro Value is the Pro Value Trizac type belt, structured abrasive. And it's got a little bit different feel to it, but they last almost as long as a Trizac because you're not doing a lot of stock removal. The Trizacs are for edge refinement and uniform scratch patterns and things like that, grip progression. And so it's a progression step, so they don't get used as much. They last almost as long as the Trizacs, and they're a good value. They don't feel quite the same, but I mean, they're slightly different, but they also are very good quality. They last a very good amount of time, and they're at a very good price. So I don't highly recommend these, but people want value options. People want different options. I can tell people that Cubitron are the best ones I've ever found. And that's why I'm using them, and that's why we got them. But people want different products. So we're going to bring in the Bora 7s. But I'm just curious because we sell the Cubitron belts for just under $6. We try to keep right at the same price as other people. Trizacs, same thing, $5.50, somewhere in there. I see these one company, I think their price is marked low, but they're selling them for $3.25 each, and that's a killer deal. But if they last for 20 or 30 knives, and you can get 70 or 80 knives out of a Cubitron, then they're over half the price, and you get less than double the amount of additional knives. And so that's kind of my thoughts on that. But we will be bringing in, it's another option. People want options. We want to keep giving people options. And I see a lot of people that seem kind of sold on the Boros right now. Yeah, exactly. Dale, that's the way I feel too. Yeah, Patriot Paul, the only thing you could try at some point would be I would say don't. I mean, I'm telling you, these are a budget option. They don't work as good as the Cubitrons. These are a budget option that work very close to what a Trizac can do. So I would consider these worth your time to take a sample of. And I go back and forth. I've been putting them on my own machines to compare and contrast and see how I like them. I've done the Boras before, and I'm going to put a Bora back on my machine today just so I can see how it plays. But yeah, they're all different prices. They're going to last different amounts of time, and that's going to mean that people get different numbers of results. But I've never seen anything. I still have never seen anything that can last as long as a Cubitron or a Trizac. And each have their own job description as well, but I don't do a lot of clipper blades, and so I don't have a, I just visited my friend in Arizona, and he's got a really fast, clean setup, and he, you know, while he's doing this, his machine is sharpening the next batch, and so he's probably 4 times faster than me, or more. I'm fast at some things, but clipper blades are not my thing. Yeah, that's kind of the way. But some people, it's this weird thing, man. I don't understand it, but it's like maybe this is better. But you gotta find out for yourself too. Sometimes you gotta try them yourself. I keep trying stuff. I'm not drinking my own Kool-Aid. I'm literally, I found what I thought was the best product, and then I found the source that I could get them, and then I offered them to everybody else. This wasn't a, this isn't a multi-level marketing scheme. This is just a sharpener trying to figure out. Well, that's the way we've done it from the beginning. So like the first angle guide modifications, and then I shared those with people, and then the first actually it all goes back to the first variable speed motor machine, because there was no variable speed motor machines, and we tried to come to market with the first one to have an affordable version. Gotta get the setback right on those. There you go. If it's too close to the front, it'll bite somebody. Yeah, the good old days. The old variable speed DC motor. Nope, it shifted. And we got the, that was actually the first product I had created, manufactured for us, was the custom drive wheel for the DC motor upgrade. And we've done probably thousands of those. Over 1,000, which is pretty cool. And that allowed you to have variable speed, digital speed control, forward, reverse. Reverse was also one of the things I think is the most dangerous to add to a machine now that I've had one. But the speed control was cool. And DC digital speed control is very cool. On a 1x30, yeah, I was living in the future. There was no options. There was no options for the 1x30, and then Rikon came out with the variable speed that you could turn it all the way down, and it was in the sweet spot. So right out of the box, you had a machine for $200 that you didn't have to play with. And they get hot. Everyone says you can cook an egg on them, but they've never wore out on me. I've got one at home that's 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old, and it still runs every time you turn it on. I'd say I got my $200 in value out of it. And it is nice when you need it. It's got that little bit of speed to crank it up for a little extra material removal or whatever you want to do. But normally you just run it at its lowest speed. So you don't need a lot of variable speed. You don't need the reverse. And then the little baby buck tool came along for 140 bucks. That runs at 1750 RPMs, smooth running, quiet. You can build a whole business off that little thing in the 1x30 frame size. Get the angle guide of your choice. Learn how to go edge leading, edge trailing. Get a buffer. Get a wide spindle buffer. Slow speeds work great. PowerTech is still at $140. That's an amazing tool to add to your toolkit. There we go. And get yourself a 2-inch. When I got my first 2-inch machine, that was like a game-changing, life-changing day for me. That was a big deal. That 2-inch machine allowed me to start practicing thinning and do bigger machetes and things like that. All of that. That's really all I've needed. Now, I know a lot of guys are using Tormex too and other methods and stuff, but I would say that you just don't need it. You can use it. When I started, I had a 14-step process. I don't have a 14-step process anymore. Shop area is all cleaned up. And work is done. And gentlemen, it is 12:30 in the afternoon. It's time for my lunch. Patriot Paul clipping honing oil is usually the very exotic mineral oil. And I use this for a lot of stuff. Mineral oil is, of course, it's safe for humans. You can get it at Long's Drugs or CVS. Odorless, tasteless, colorless, and food safe. So you can put it on kitchen knives, pocket knives. It's not going to go rancid over time. What else? Everybody's got different stuff they're using. Let me see what we got here. Yeah. So I'm scrolling back up a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to say it right. Miss Ars. There we go. Don't look at me. There you go. There you go. So we got, yeah, he said it's 60 on a 2x42. So a 2-inch belt is completely different from a 1x30. I'm assuming you're going edge trailing on the 2x42. You can get 60 belts. Is that a P120 Boris 7 or a P80 Boris 7? All these things are, details. But 60 isn't bad. And it depends how much pressure and what type of, if you're just doing a heavy grind edge trailing, I could see that. You got to keep fracturing the abrasive. Oftentimes you can get I mean, I don't use I use my 2x42 for a lot of stuff. I would say I definitely get more than 60 out of it, but there is a cost difference. I'm not sure what the 2x42 belts are running, but yeah, DC motors have got the torque for sure. Patriot Paul, the diamond emulsion I use is the one that we have. It's a water-based diamond emulsion. It's 3 micron. We have it in 1, 3, 6. We also have 0.5, 0.25, but 3 microns is my sweet spot. And every diamond emulsion is a difference in concentration and price. And so they go up and down. So with the we try to have a high concentration at the lowest price that we can, and that makes it good for squirting and spraying on belts. If it's a very high concentration and a very high price, then that's the kind that you would use on leather strops. And we do actually have premium emulsions that I'm just getting ready to come out with in the next week or so, probably even this week, and we'll have those available. But the 3 micron, you can get a decent sized little bottle, give it a little squirt, and it's going to last you 3 to 6 months for 30 or 40 bucks. It's a good deal. Yep. Patriot Paul, that's how we live our life around here, man. You know, best quality, easily replaceable, nothing esoteric or extravagant. Yep, we got the diamond emulsions there on the website. And it sounds like Ed found the wheels earlier. Appreciate that. Summit, how you doing? Tyler? Hanging in there, brother? Hey, I saw your shop. Oop. I didn't mean to hide. Didn't mean to hide those. Oh, I hit the wrong button. God dang it. My thumb hit the wrong button. It deleted Patriot Paul's chats. I'm so sorry. I'll try and bring them back. I'll bring them all back. Yeah, I'll have to do it when I got my fingers, my butter thumbs. Yeah, dude, your full regrind on your shop looked like it was coming along, man. Full shelving and everything. It's a good feeling once you get it put back together, for sure. I just don't seem to want to get my face in the camera today. There we go. All right, well, next time maybe we'll come up with something better to talk about besides angle guides and controversy. Sorry about that, everybody. Hope everybody got something out of today. Hope, you know, something we learned something, or appreciate you guys just hanging out with me while I do my work. And shout out to everybody out there making content and helping to support all our sharpeners. And everybody's doing a great job. I mean that sincerely. So we're all on the same team here. There's no sharpening wars. I am looking forward to the next sharpening convention we got coming up. It'll be it's the Above Scissor Show. And then it looks like I may be signing on to work with the NSG, which is the National Sharpeners Guild, and teach over at that event as well. And vend. I'll be vending, and I'll have my vending set up. Ed, I've got, actually, if you go to my YouTube channel, which I guess we're on my YouTube channel, and you search for Farmers Market, I've got several videos that are actually, I enjoy going back and watching myself sharpen without having to do the work. And you can see me interacting with customers. I do a van tour. I've got a couple van tour videos. My van was a very small setup, but I still managed to have a 2-inch machine, a buffer machine, 3 belt sanders in there. I had more at one time. I even had a little clipper blade machine over in the very far corner. And so yeah, those videos are on YouTube, and they're quite entertaining. Honestly, I enjoy. They're some of my favorite stuff to go back and watch. It gives me the warm fuzzies to watch the old crowd at the farmers market. I did it for 5 years. I got up every Saturday at 5 a.m. to go to this farmers market, and it was a beautiful market, beautiful people, amazing vibe and community. And I did my time, and now we opened up the brick and mortar, so that's why we're over here doing this now. Yeah, farmers market and van tour, both of those will get you where you're going. Yeah, best, and actually you can see kind of me practicing what I preach about a simplified process, 1, 2, 3, consistent results, and being able to do 10 knives in 4 or 5 minutes and hand them back to people. Bam, 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 bam. And also, like, if you are overthinking things, like I used to take everybody's name and their address and their serial number and write everything down. And pretty soon I just didn't even bother with the buckets. And I know that's going to sound crazy, but they bring them. They'll figure out how to take them home. I didn't need buckets. I didn't need to write down their names. They come back. I jokingly used to say that a lot. They'll come back. I don't need to remember all that. Ooh, 4 markets a week, Dale. That is solid, man. Markets are really, I mean, they do several things. They connect you to the community. They provide you with a nice baseline, steady, everything you need. You get word of mouth, you get connections, you get good income. 4 of them a week is a solid number, dude. That's really all you need. Then if you're doing four a week, then you almost don't need to go drive around and hunt down business because you got enough coming right to your van. That's the best part of it. For me, was getting up in the morning. I had to go set up the van, set up the little tent thing. Oh, that's fun. You get to be part of that community. And then here comes the people, and you get to see the same people and new people, and people get to know you and know the quality of your work, and they're like, do your magic, man. And they watch you create something or bring something back for them. And it's a real joy, man. There's some real pleasure and satisfaction on a human level to be able to give somebody a good service that they're grateful for and they pay you for. And then you feel good about it too. So it's a win-win. Yeah, good thing you're retired. I hear you. Be careful what you wish for, everybody. Hey, I want to thank everybody for hanging out and coming along. Really appreciate it. And thank you guys for the kind words and everything else. And if everybody likes it, I'll do it next Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more work, less worky, less talky. More worky, less talky. All right, you guys. Hey, I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate it. Aloha.